Ready.
Hi, and welcome to my yard. I wanted to take some time today to show you around and give you a little bit of an idea about how much gardening really is important to us. And the best place to start is over in the greenhouse. So this is where it all begins. I received the best Valentine's Day present ever from my boyfriend Stuart. He built this greenhouse for me, knowing how important gardening really is to me. So this year, for the first time ever, I was able to start my plants from seed. Going all the way back to March, I had probably 150 seedlings nurtured right inside of this greenhouse. So come and take a look inside. Obviously, I'm not doing seedlings in here right now, but really warm, hot weather loving plants actually thrive in the summertime inside of the greenhouse. I have some green peppers in here and some red peppers, also some really fun cucumbers called telegraph cucumbers. Even though it's diffuse light, it can still get incredibly hot in the greenhouse, so pretty much all summer long I've had it vented so it doesn't get ridiculously hot. Another amazing thing that Stuart did for me is put in an automatic watering system. So if you zoom in down below, you can see that there's some black hose down in the soil. Every single day, without me even having to think about it, the plants get just the exact amount of water that they need. So really, when I come in here, at this point, it's just to admire my plants and to harvest the yummy stuff. So with 150 seedlings, I had way too many plants for me to use, and I offered them up to lots of friends and neighbors, but nobody took me up on it. And as any gardener will tell you, when you start plants from baby tiny seeds, they become like your children, and I couldn't bear to just throw them out. So really the only solution left was to expand, and that's what we did. So now I have several garden plots throughout the yard. And I wanted to start by showing you the winter squash garden. I have 3 different kinds of heirloom winter squash planted in here, and I'm really excited to see how much this will yield. I think it'll be huge, and the great thing about winter squash is if I put it in a nice, cool, dry, dark space, we should be able to save these squash for at least 3 months into the winter season. So that'll be fantastic. Also this year, something new is that we've started a baby orchard, and I want to come and show you the peach trees that we put in. So right now we really only have 2 peach trees and 1 cherry tree that didn't do so great this year. But look how cute this is. It's just about my height, but we're probably gonna get, I don't know, like 30 peaches off of it this year. We're gardening everything organically, and organic gardening is an art form. It really takes a lot of science and a lot of experimentation. So because I'm not used to farming trees at all, it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but this plant at the roots of it is really truly healthy. So even though it's struggled a little bit with some insect infestation, it's still really, really healthy, and we are going to get some beautiful peaches this year. I'm really excited. So before I take you into the main garden, as I was walking by, I'm reminded that I really need to tell you a story about this incredible hydrangea tree. Last October, when we had all the leaves were still on the trees everywhere, and we ended up having this freakish snowstorm on the weekend of Halloween. The heavy, heavy snow, there was a ton of it, I don't know, we probably had 10 inches here, weighed so heavily down on the trees that many, many trees had major branches snap off of them, and this hydrangea tree, which is one of my favorite things in the whole yard, actually completely tipped over and uprooted. I was devastated, and I thought for sure that the tree was going to be a loss. But once again, Stuart came to the rescue, and he came up with this brilliant plan. He really quickly ran and got some potting soil and uprighted the tree using a tethering system, which we can get closer to and show you in a minute, but essentially just babied and nurtured this tree, and then we crossed our fingers all winter long, and springtime came, and I kept coming out to check and see, is it alive, is it alive? And it's beautiful. It's actually better than ever. It's fuller and has more blossoms on it than ever, so I feel really, really lucky. One of the things I love most about this house is that it came with this really cool kind of English style sunken garden, and there's an amazing rock wall that goes all the way around it. It's beautiful. I'm gonna step right down in here and come right into the garden, tell you a little bit about what I planted this year, what we've already harvested, and let me start by showing you this. You're never gonna believe what this plant is. This is a marigold. I know, it's unbelievable. The best part about starting my seeds on my own is that I was able to order heirloom varieties of everything, and this is a giant version of a marigold. It's actually just started blooming. I can't wait until this entire thing is covered with blossoms. Really, really cool. Marigolds help to keep the pests out of the garden. So they're beautiful, but they're also, they have a purpose. Already this year we've harvested our lettuce and our kale. It's too hot for that right now, so in place we've put tomato plants in. I ended up with way more tomatoes than we will ever be able to eat. But actually we have a plan for all of this extra harvest that we're gonna have this year. My kids have started a farm stand, and a couple of times a week they are going to be out in the front of our yard. I can show you the stand in a little bit, and try and sell some of these amazing vegetables to the people who drive by. We'll see. They want to earn money to go to Disney World, and their goal is to make $1,000. So I'll give you the update on that in the fall and see if they made their goal. Anyway, we have 4 or 5 different kinds of heirloom tomatoes in the garden, including chocolate stripe, Floridale, golden, German stripe, and then Brandie wine. Come on over here, I want to show you another really fun thing that I did this year. I haven't really worked with beets before, but I went all out this year and ended up doing 3 or 4 different kinds of beets. It's just really, really fun. This beet right here is called a candy cane beet because when you slice it open on the inside, it actually has red and white stripes like a candy cane. It's really fun. And if you roast it instead of boiling it, those colors don't run together, they stay separate and distinct. So that's been really, really fun to play with. Also, by the way, did you know that you don't throw away the beet greens? These are incredibly nutritious. You can saute these just like you would spinach or Swiss chard. Let me show you another kind of beet. Also extremely beautiful is this cylinder beet. When you slice it open, it's the most gorgeous, deepest, richest color of purple that you've ever seen. It's this very sweet, sweet beet. Our family's favorite way of preparing beets is to slice or chunk them, toss them in some extra virgin olive oil with some sea salt or kosher salt, and roast them in the oven at 400 for about 40-45 minutes. We're going to do some experimenting with the grill, actually, also. One more beet, quickly. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing about beets, but it's sort of a pride and joy.
Can't beat them.
Oh my gosh. Grew golden beets. This is actually the first one that I'm harvesting right now. And as you can probably see from the outside, it's got an orange outer flesh, and then on the inside it's just a beautiful hue of deep, deep yellow. So something that's really fun is to prepare all of these beets together at the same time and then serve them side by side. You get a gorgeous color array, but also it's really fun to taste the differences in the same vegetable.
And go.
So I really can't resist showing you what the insides of these beets look like. Look how gorgeous these are. It's just amazing. Come on over and let's take a look. Let's start with the candy cane. You're not getting this from the grocery store. If you have kids who are really resistant in trying something new, making this an exploration for them, making this really fun, is a sure way to get them to at least try it. I mean, with a name like Candy Cane Beet, you have a pretty good chance that they're gonna try that. And honestly, if prepared correctly, beets are incredibly sweet. This is the purple beet that I was telling you about. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And here's the golden. Look at that beautiful color. So can you picture the three of these together on your plate for dinner? It's a real treat. It's one of the perks about shopping at your local farmer's market, and of course gardening for yourself, because even in local farmers markets, getting organic heirlooms is a bit of a challenge. Let's go back into the garden, I'll show you more. Okay, so I just wanted to show you something that I did this year that I haven't done before. I put some wildflower mix inside of this section of the garden, knowing that I would also put some vegetables in here, and I didn't know what to expect that would germinate. Now, honestly, not a lot did, but check these out. These are really beautiful. It's so much fun to add a pop of color into the garden, especially when it's a surprise and unexpected. And speaking of popping color into your garden, I plant bright light Swiss chard. The stems of the Swiss chard come in all these different fabulous colors. Chard is amazingly nutritious for you, and really it's pretty versatile. You can saute it, boil it, chop it fresh in a salad. I just want you to see these colors. You know, when you put color on your plate, people are naturally drawn to it, even kids. So let's keep going. So speaking of heirlooms and lots of color, I wanted to show you one of my favorite plants of all. This is a purple bean plant. Not only is the plant itself exquisitely beautiful, I don't know if you're able to really appreciate this and see it, but the leaves are absolutely beautiful, and they have purple veins running throughout, and then the vine itself is a hue of purple, and the blossoms are this gorgeous lavender violet mix. Really fantastic. Let's see if we can actually find a bean on here for you to see. I just recently harvested, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you a mature purple podded bean. Looks like we might be out of luck on that one, but they basically grow to be about 4 inches long and just a really bright purple color, and when you cook them, they turn bright green. So it's another little example of how magic can happen in your kitchen with color, and really kind of wow your family with it. And it's fun to have these kinds of things when you have guests over too. Ooh, I found a bean. This one's not a solid purple. This one's actually kind of unique. Has some green in it too, but you get the idea. Pretty fun, right? Okay, let's talk about everybody's garden favorite, tomatoes. Nothing tastes as incredible as a garden tomato. Everybody knows that when you get them from the grocery store, in the middle of winter, shipped from Mexico or who knows where, you basically have this uniform piece of fruit that has kind of a not so wow flavor. This exact opposite happens when you get a tomato fresh from the garden. And I have all different kinds planted in here. I'm not gonna go and spend too much time telling you about the different varieties, but I do want to show you how amazingly well these plants are growing this year. And incidentally, I've known these plants since they were about 1 millimeter big. I planted these all from seed. Little source of pride there. So come on over here, I just want to show you how many